which is our agenda for today, is around the challenges which we are facing. What is the present threat landscape? We want to talk about the ACSC Essential 8 framework. You will hear about this more and more in the near future, because this is a set of guidelines which the Australian Signals Directorate has put forward and will start getting implemented. Dean will walk us through this information and how we can help, or how businesses can achieve maturity level within the Essential 8 framework. We will talk about how business continuity and Office 365 backup are related with managing and helping businesses come out of any threats or challenges they can face in the future. And we will quickly go security awareness, phishing attack training. There's different things you should watch out for. So with that, we begin. And there's this interesting photo. Now, this is Australia. This is beautiful tropical Queensland, and it's the Brisbane River, which has been through multiple floods. Now, this isn't the only disaster. I know we start off while it's all doom and gloom, but this isn't the only disaster. And as businesses, we haven't all been exposed to natural disasters like cyclones, fires. We can talk about very random, or it's seldom will happen to a business, but there's this more and more challenges around the weather coming up. However, the main challenge which we have is the fattest finger first. Now, fattest finger first is humans. We make these errors, and we're responsible for most of the disasters related to IT. Now, what we're currently seeing within the IT environment of the businesses which we manage is human error is responsible for 68% of challenges, 68% of downtime, where they've clicked on something, where there's a security incident which has been created. Ransomware is one of the most common challenges over there, because you've got organizations which are now sophisticated and are working together to target small and medium businesses. And this is a very challenging situation which everybody's facing, and hence there's all these privacy laws and acts coming out. We've got hardware failures, which is sort of a consistent threat, but we've got vendors who are building more and more robust hardware. So that's not a major challenge. The booming threat is security incidents, once again related to human error and ransomware. Natural disasters is a very small part of what challenges we commonly see. So with this, let's talk about how ransomware targets people, technology, the different sort of extortion tactics they have. So they try and get through and exploit a known exploit, which is like a bug or a patch in the system where a software hasn't been updated and someone has found a vulnerability, and they try to get through there. Or they will try to get through by impersonating as either a known supplier or an employee, or a known business like DHL or Ozpost trying to send you emails. Not always you get emails like the Nigerian prince who died and is ready to send you $25 million. But you get sophisticated emails, which are the phishing emails. So they try to steal data, and they will use that to publish it online and auction that data. They are notifying different parties that, hey, this data is now ours if you will pay us X amount of dollars in ransomware. For example, that was something they were trying to do with Medibank. We will make sure your data doesn't go out. They warn victims that, because there's an act called Notifiable Data Breaches Act. I'll touch on that a bit later. That if you tell authorities or the police or whoever, we will delete the data. It's very rare that they try and recruit people within the organization to help them with the breach, unless you've got a very disgruntled employee who tries to go onto the dark web and finds someone to do that for themselves. So the first thing is reset passwords. They themselves can reset passwords. They'll create an encryption. They'll try and delete the backups. They'll also print physical copies of the data and so on, followed by denial of service attacks. So make sure the customer can't, or the person who's affected can't get into the data themselves. So, yep.
Kultar, can I just jump in on that point?
Yes, please.
I just want to highlight that probably over the last 12 months, probably 50% of our client base have been attacked in one or more of these ways, via email or direct attacks. So this is not something that is not happening. This is something that is happening pretty much on a regular basis.
Yep. So just a quick reference to Sophos, who we work and partner with, that this information has been just referencing that this information is coming from the Sophos website and from the technical experts over there. So we are a Sophos partner and we use their technologies from an antivirus, anti-malware, firewall, security, peripheral defense perspective. We'll move on to the next slide, which talks about a bit more about that attack cycle. So what these cyber criminals are doing, these are sophisticated organizations, and now they're working together to deliver a payload or a package. Now that delivery is the pre-breach, which happens either through that phishing email or it happens through a known exploitation of a vulnerability within a software. They will then, that system, that software which they have exploited will deliver another software which installs itself, and on their command and on their actions, it will take control of the entire data, locks it down, makes it unavailable for speak about the 5 steps to safeguard your data.
Yeah, perfect. So from a technology point of view, we look at a few ways to cover and protect your data, which all work in line with the Essential 8 at various levels. So a firewall is probably one of the most important assets your business can own. That can control data in and out of your network. There are so many connotations we can look at. If anybody's attacking your network, if there is data in your network that's going out that shouldn't be, we can do country blocking. We can just pretty much control all the data flow in and out of your business, and all that kind of stuff. We're able to report once a week, once a day, however, or wherever reports are required. If there is any type of intrusions, that can email head office and we can follow those up. So really, really important to have a firewall in your business. Now, most of you would have a firewall in your business, but if it's not configured correctly, then there's no use having a firewall. Spam filters are really, really important because they will catch probably about 80% of phishing emails. Spam filter is what looks for the, as Kultar said, the Nigerian prince email. Now, not all of those get caught, which then links into the 5th point, which is staff training and cybersecurity awareness. Most of you will find out that that is going to become compulsory for any type of cyber insurance that you require for your business. There's going to need to be a training plan for your staff. Server antivirus and endpoint antivirus. There's never been a more important time to have that type of infrastructure on your machines. It is probably your second line of defense behind your firewall. Now, like Kultar said, we're Sophos partners and all that integrates into each other, but you don't have to use Sophos. But it's critical that you have this type of software on your servers and on your endpoints and on your phones now. And business continuity and Office 365 backup or G Suite backup. Business continuity now is probably the most important thing, probably the biggest step from the disaster recovery. Most of the businesses that we deal with have had a disaster recovery plan. So that is where your server, let's say you're using a server, it blows up and we can rebuild. But that in itself, in particular over COVID, has caused an amount of challenges, in particular in hardware. If you have a hardware failure, there's no use having a backup, because if you can't get new hardware, you're going to be down for an extended period of time. So if you have a disaster recovery plan, which is back up to hard drives and someone takes those home, your business is going to be down for a minimum of 2 to 3 days. That's just a given, if not longer. Whereas a business continuity plan allows you to be back up and running within half an hour to an hour with different types of products that we use, which we use Datto, which allows us to recover servers within half an hour or 45 minutes. So that's quickly just a quick touch on those 5 steps. Like Kultar said, this is recorded, and feel free to contact us if you want to go over anything further.
Cool. Thanks, Tim. So quickly, in regards to cyber resilience, there's the perimeter defense, the first step, but then there's also people, processes, and the right technology. So having the right policies, having the right technology is absolutely required, because 43% of attacks are on small, medium businesses. 85% of email attachments are harmful. The ones which are the phishing emails. 91% of attacks are launched from a phishing email. It is a very expensive, also lucrative business for a lot of business for the guys who are in the ransomware industry. So we are seeing more and more people being affected by ransomware. So once again, back to the point, the fattest finger, human error. How do we, or how can you stop it, is by having that business continuity solution. For example, a quick overview of what a Datto appliance does. It sits in your environment. It protects physical machines, virtual machines. It's a dedicated appliance, and also has a dedicated cloud offsite, which is in Australia. If your system is affected by ransomware or the server dies, we manage it, so we can easily bring up the machine as a virtual server, get you guys working on that. If at all, because of a natural disaster, you don't have access, or for some reason you can't go on site and you need to still work, everything can be launched in the cloud, and your business can still keep working.
Kultar, can I just touch on that point just quickly?
Sure.
We're talking about this product. We've used it in real world scenarios. When that photo was taken of the Brisbane floods, we had one of our customers who were affected, and the power company shut down all the power into the city. So our Datto appliance became inoperable. So we had to run that business from the cloud. Now, obviously, it's not the same as running inside your office. However, when they shut the power down, it was the 30th of the month. They had about $500,000 worth of billing that needed to go out. And they were able to get their billing out on the 30th of the month by us firing up their servers in the cloud, hence keeping the business continuing.
Thank you. If we think about Microsoft Office 365, a lot of people are being pushed onto the cloud. Microsoft wants to have everyone onto their Office 365 platform. We need to understand that Microsoft is not responsible for your data. It's responsible for providing the platform and making it available, which is the uptime. However, if you're deleting emails, if there's malware attack or a ransomware attack on your Office 365, they can encrypt your Office 365 environment. Microsoft won't help you recover. So Microsoft says, hey, it's a shared responsibility. We recommend that you regularly back up, have it offsite, or have it in another person's cloud. This is what they say. So some data which has been collected from Microsoft says that on an average, if you're not doing the right policies to keep the items get deleted after a month mostly. So there's permanent deletion from there. So we recommend an Office 365 backup platform as well. It is very important that having cloud to cloud backup is important so you can recover quickly. So your Teams, your Exchange Online, your OneDrive, your SharePoint data is protected by having a backup. So see, with that, the main things just to finish off is, yes, we are being attacked. However, if you have the right policies, procedures, and technologies, you will be able to recover quickly. It is important you're providing your customers ongoing security awareness training, having the right password management, which is having the right password policies, multi-factor authentication, long phrases, alphanumeric characters, and changing that. This is extremely important. Never leave your devices unattended. If at all you have to walk away, Windows L locks your computer, locks your screen. Remember that. Simple. Windows L, always lock your screen. Be careful. Always look at the URL or the domain that is sending you emails to make sure you're not being someone known to you is not emulating and trying to get in using a phishing attack. Also, antivirus, malware, extremely important. Backups, business continuity is a must-have. You have to recover. Business still needs to continue. Business continuity is really important. If your employees are bringing their own mobile devices, you need to have a policy in regards to making sure they have a PIN or they have certain apps and have the right policy in regards to what access they have from that work device. Security testing configurations is something which we as an IT provider helps. So if you have an IT provider, make sure they are doing intrusion detection tests and your firewalls, your policies are up to date. So from a security awareness training perspective, there's a number of companies now which will automate and provide training for you. Charge you probably a monthly cost, or it's something which we can provide as well, where we will provide emails which will look like they are legitimate from someone. However, it's a phishing email. If someone clicks on them, then it links to a video and educates them, hey, this is not what you were supposed to click on. So that's a part of your security awareness training. So phishing link emails can be sent out, and campaigns on people trying to get password information or luring your employees to try and put in the credentials where they don't need to. That's something which is being automated as well by different vendors, different companies. They send out emails or attachments or send them a link to a different website, and they try and click on that, and it takes them to an informative video saying, hey, you should have checked this. Is there a secure lock? Is this HTTPS secure website? Not what are you clicking on? Learn from that. And there's different training campaigns. So there's technologies out there, different security topics. Today, just being mindful of time, I'm not being able to take you guys through different examples of what to look out for, but basically what you should look out for is what's the word usage, right? Is the grammar correct? What URL is it coming through? What domain is it coming through? Is it something which you expect? Is it very obvious? So you should check before you click on thing. So there's different training modules which we can provide as well. Just wanted to quickly talk about making sure your password, passphrases, you keep changing them, have multi-factor authentication, and always look out that, hey, this could be a malicious email. See, with that, we would like to open up for questions. Please, yeah, I can unmute.